Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. My name's Christina if you're new here. Hi, if you're not new here, I haven't actually made a video for a whole year and I'm sure the title of the video would be able to tell you what I've been up to. So I am pregnant. When I upload this I'll be 15 weeks pregnant, so I'm past the first trimester, so I just thought I'd do a little update on how I've been feeling so far. So just to do a little rundown of my channel. So first of all, I started my channel because I got my boobs done. And I thought I'd just do some videos just for other girls who also wanted to get their boobs done or have their boobs done and they had questions and stuff. And I thought that was just a really good thing to do because when I was looking into getting my boobs done, I was just watching non-stop YouTube videos and I just found it really helpful. So that's why I started them. And then I started doing it with my Invisalign. So I've had my teeth all sorted out. So just done exactly the same thing with that. And now obviously I'm pregnant, so I'm just going to try and do the same thing with this, just because again it's good to know that everyone has different experiences, and a lot of the time Google doesn't have the answer and different midwives will tell you different things. So I think it's quite good to actually do some research online at people's own personal experiences. So yeah, just to go over what I have been doing since my last video. So when I filmed my last video, we were living in a ground floor maisonette. We managed to sell that. We moved in with George's parents for about 6 or 7 months, and we got married. Went to Mauritius and got married, so I'm now Mrs. Attard. And then in March, we fell pregnant. In April, 2 weeks after we fell pregnant, we moved into our new house. So we now have like a 3-bedroom house. It's like a proper house. And this is our main bedroom, and we have the baby room right there, so I'll be able to hear when little Un is making some little noises. So yeah, a lot has happened in the last year, and the main part of it being that I'm going to be a mum and George is going to be a dad, which I still can't believe I'm saying. Very weird. So at 15 weeks I'm kind of like the size of an avocado, which is like that big. So it's weird to just think that there's a baby that's big enough to fit in my hand, in my tummy right now. So I'm just going to look at some of the things that I've written down because I do want to cover quite a lot of things in this video. So getting pregnant, we decided that we did really want to start trying to have a baby. I have been on the pill for 14 years. So I kind of thought in my head it's going to take a long time for me to get pregnant because it's going to take a long time for all the hormones and all that crap to come out of my system. So I actually came off the pill in October and we got married in November. So we were kind of thinking, okay, it's going to be a good time regardless when it happens to get pregnant because we're secure. We knew we had a house waiting for us and we were financially stable. So we took the risk of coming off the pill in October and just thought if it happens, it happens. And it's meant to happen when it's meant to happen. So we were just having unprotected sex. We weren't scheduling it or doing it to the date of when we think we were ovulating. We just let it kind of run its course, just continue with our normal sex life. And then it got to the point where we knew that the house was coming up, and I did kind of get a little bit disheartened by the fact that I wasn't pregnant yet. And obviously you do start to worry as a woman, like, oh my God, is there something wrong with me? So I started downloading these apps and they were all telling me, I had 3 different apps at the time, they were all telling me different dates of when I was ovulating, and it's a load of crap. Please take this advice and ignore any apps that you have on your phone when they tell you that you're ovulating, because they don't know. Nothing will know other than an actual ovulation test. So after I think about 3 months of using these apps, I was just like, this is bollocks. So I went and spent a bit of money on some Clear Blue ovulation tests, and it's pretty much the same as a pregnancy test. You just pee on it and it tells you if you're ovulating. It's got like, it either says nothing, which means you're not, or it's got a flashing smiley face, which means have sex, or it's got a smiley face, which means you could still have sex and it could still work. So yeah, we got one of them. The first time we used it and it was like, go for it, we had sex, and 2 weeks later I took a test and it was positive. So please guys, if you are struggling or if you think that there may be something wrong with you like I did, then actually take a physical ovulation test and see if that works, because it was so quick for us. And I don't know if it had anything to do with the fact that it was actually 6 months after October when I came off the pill, and it needed that time for it all to come out of me. But it worked straight away, and it's made me so much more relieved to know that I can get pregnant. So yeah, that's my first bit of advice for anyone. Definitely try and get an ovulation test instead of thinking of these stupid bloody apps that don't work. Like when I did the ovulation test and it was like, have sex, I was looking on the apps and they were all saying, no, you can't, you're not ovulating right now. So when I actually did find out I was pregnant, I felt like I was due on my period. So I just thought, oh, it's not going to be this month. So I just thought on my lunch break I was just going to go and buy some pregnancy tests anyway, just for the next time. So I bought some Clear Blue ones. This isn't sponsored by Clear Blue, by the way. I just think they're bloody awesome, even though they're quite pricey. They're just so accurate. I went and got some Clear Blue pregnancy tests, and that was on my lunch break at work. On my way back up to my floor, I needed a wee, and I had the test, and I thought, I'll just pee on it, see if I'm pregnant. And I was pregnant. And luckily I have a couple of my friends who work with me that I've known for like 20 odd years. So I had them around me when I told them when I found out I was pregnant. Very weird way of finding out you're pregnant at work, surrounded by colleagues and not necessarily friends, but like, oh my god. And I cried. Everyone cried. Yeah, and that was actually on April Fool's Day. So when I came home from work, bearing in mind we're living at George's parents at this stage, when I came home from work, we'd already got a move-in day, and it was 2 weeks after that date. It was the 15th of April. And I was thinking in my head, I'm going to try and keep it a secret from George, my husband, and do something really special when we move into the house and do like a surprise and stuff like that. But he's my best mate. I can't hide anything from him. So when he came home from work, I just told him straight away, and I just took out the test and I showed him. And obviously it's April Fool's Day. He thought I was joking, but obviously I'm not. But yeah, he was in a lot of shock. He was the same as me. He couldn't believe that the first time we tried to conceive using an actual ovulation test, that it worked straight away. So yeah, lots of shock there. That was on a Monday, and then the following weekend it was George's granddad's 80th birthday, and we decided to tell his family then, because we were all going to be together. And the way we did it was we wrapped up a baby grow, and it had baby Attard written on it, and we wrapped it up as a present for George's granddad so that he would open it in front of everyone. And I have got the clip if I'm going to insert it here. But yeah, he opened it up and not everyone got it straight away. But yeah, it's really cute.
No way.
What?
Wow.
Are you kidding? Oh my god!
That's never going to fit your brain.
Really? Congratulations! I didn't get it. I love
We've
So yeah, that is how we told George's family, which was really lovely. And then I think it was about a week later that my mum came and visited me, because she lives quite far away, and obviously we'd just moved into our new house, so I wanted her to come and see the house anyway. So what I did was I laid out, actually in this room, I laid out the baby grow with all the pregnancy tests around it, and I was giving her a tour of the house, and she came up to this room and she saw the baby grow on the bed and she just burst out crying. I'll insert the clip here as well. Prepare yourself to cry if you are pregnant. And then you come in here, this is our main bedroom. Oh wow. Are you? Yep. Are you okay? Oh, you woolly. I'm 6.5, well, I was 6 weeks on Wednesday, so I'll be due on my birthday. So we'll have a baby at Christmas. Oh, look at you crying, you little wuss. Happy? Very. Gonna be a grandma. So yeah, all lovely responses to finding out that we were having a baby, and since then it's been pretty easy, to be honest. I don't want to piss anyone off, but I haven't really had any symptoms. I've had no sickness whatsoever. I I do find that I can smell things a lot stronger. So there's a guy that sits behind me at work who smokes and drinks black coffee, and it is vile. Also, the smell of coleslaw, ugh, can't deal with it, but I can eat it, which makes no sense whatsoever. Eating, my sort of cravings have been yogurt, yop, so it's like a yogurt drink, I absolutely love them, and cereal. I don't actually eat dairy or drink milk, so all of these things that I'm having, it's very weird. And wine gums, I think it's because I miss wine. Yeah, I think that's it. That's all the cravings I've had at the moment. My taste buds haven't really changed. I can't like eat spicy food or anything like that. My only symptoms really have been, I'm just extra tired. My boobs are sore. They're not that bigger, and my nipples haven't got any bigger or darker either, which I'm really surprised at. I thought they'd be like burgers by now. I will do a separate video on my boobs because I've had a couple of girls message me saying to do like a sort of video about being pregnant with fake tits and breastfeeding and stuff, which I will be trying to do. I'm obviously going to try my hardest to breastfeed. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I'm not going to get disheartened by it. But yeah, with regards to breastfeeding and having implants, I spoke to my midwife and she said it is still possible. It will be a little bit harder because the flow is kind of like disrupted and all that jazz, but I'm gonna get some more information on it and then I'll do a separate video for that. Yeah, I'm just a little bit more tired, and I'm finding that I do get out of breath quite a lot more than I normally would. But other than that, no real symptoms. I've got a little bump. It just looks like I've had an enjoyable Christmas, like nothing really is going on down there. Oh, at 10 weeks, so that was 5 weeks ago, I did experience some bleeding, and honestly, I absolutely crapped myself. I was at work and I went for a wee on my lunch break. It always happens at work. I went for a wee at my lunch break and just blood in my pants, and I wiped and there was more blood on the tissue, and it was red blood. It was like angry blood. So my instant thought was like, what the hell, I'm losing the baby, oh my god, oh my god. So I called 111. I need to call 111 because I used to work there. I know that it's not an emergency, and as harsh as it sounds, if you're having a miscarriage, there's nothing they can do about it anyway. So I called 111 and they just went through all these questions with me. They asked me how much blood I'd lost, and I couldn't really tell them because I'd literally just seen one lot of blood. So what they asked me to do was put sanitary towels in and keep an eye on how many towels you use, and to also look at the blood and see if there's any fleshy parts, what colour it was and stuff like that. They did actually want to get an ambulance out to me, but I didn't feel like it was necessary, so I just drove myself there and met George there. We all know what the NHS is like in England, so I was sat there for 3 hours thinking that I was losing my baby, only for them to tell me that it's probably the placenta. So the following day I had an internal scan, and that's where they actually, instead of it being on your tummy, they put a scanner up you. And the guy just said to me that the baby's still got a heartbeat, everything's fine, and the bleeding is probably from the placenta coming down. I did forget to mention that at 7 weeks I did pay for a private scan, just purely because I worry about absolutely everything, and I was thinking, I don't feel pregnant, like I need to make sure that I definitely am. So we paid for a private scan with window to the womb, and yeah, they did another internal scan and they said that there's a heartbeat and stuff, so it was all going plain sailing, and then I started bleeding, and then this bleed led to another scan where they said to me that everything's fine and just to relax. So then 2 weeks later I went to London and I had my 12/13 week scan. So this is like the official scan where you can actually see like the baby, and I'll put a picture in here. But yeah, a lot of the scan was not the baby. They were checking on my womb and the ovaries, the placenta. I'm trying to think of all these words. They were checking if there's 5 fingers, 5 toes, 2 arms, 2 legs, if the face looks formed properly, like with the nose and the lips. And I think that's to check if there's a cleft palate, I think it's called. 2 eyes, all that sort of stuff. And they did see that there was a little bit more fluid behind the neck than they would like to see. So that instantly made me panic, obviously, because that's a sign of Down syndrome, which me and George have discussed. And if our baby was to have Down syndrome, we would still love it and we would still bring it up. We would not terminate the pregnancy. Yeah, so yeah, we've had the conversation. If the baby was to have Down syndrome, basically we would keep it regardless, and we would love it exactly the same. I might do a separate video on this, but our sonographer was really fucking rude. She said that the baby was really active, and I'm laying there and she's got this scanner on my tummy and she's pushing really hard, like, to get into the right position. But when I tell you she was vigorous, I mean she was literally like, baby, move into the right position. Like, what are you doing? And she was saying, oh, the baby's got a high heart rate. Of course it has. You've just been punching it in the face. And she started just huffing and puffing and stuff. And if I have her again, I will be making a complaint. But yeah, as a result of that scan, we have booked on our 20-week scan, and they do want us to see a cardiac specialist because of the high heart rate, which was caused by her being a dick. And then obviously to check the fluid behind the neck, and also that will check the gender as well. But we are actually going to be doing, instead of a baby shower, we're going to do a gender reveal party, because I feel like, just personal preference, I feel like baby showers shouldn't just be for women. I know that I'm the one that's carrying the baby, but George did participate in making this baby. So with a gender reveal party, not only are we sharing with all of our friends, male and female, the fact that we're having a baby, but we get to share with them what the gender is. And we're not going to find out until everyone finds out, so it's going to be like a big surprise. So yeah, that is going to be at the end of July, I think it is. So I'll probably have another video coming up around that sort of time. So I'll be talking more about like the second trimester, and then finding out what gender we're having, and baby names, all that sort of stuff. Okay, so I'm just looking at some of the other things I've got written down. So when I put it, I've got a couple of apps that I'm following along, so it tells you what the size of the baby is and stuff like that. It tells you to put in your date of conception or the date of your last missed period or something. And originally that told me my due date was the 11th of December. Bearing in mind my birthday is the 10th of December, so I will probably be in labour on my birthday, but never mind. Now at my 12-week scan, they did actually tell me that the due date has changed, so it's now the 15th of December. So yeah, I wasn't actually aware that your due date could change. I think it's a bit weird that it's changed, because how else could it not be what it was originally, because that's the only day we conceived. That's the only day we could have conceived, so I don't know. Pregnancy vitamins. So I know that you can get them cheaper, and you can do like Boots Own and stuff like that, but a couple of my other friends are pregnant at the same time as me, so they recommended Pregnacare, and it's got literally everything you could need. The most important thing is folic acid, and apparently you need that through the first 3 months of being pregnant, and these tablets you do actually take throughout the whole of pregnancy. You don't have to take them, but they do recommend it for the first 3 months. So I've been taking them, and I have noticed that my hair has grown, and it's also, I don't know if it's because of the tablets or because I'm pregnant and I've got these new hormones, but my hair isn't falling out as much. So I'm absolutely loving life, because my hair is normally so thin and it struggles to grow. So I'm like, I feel like Rapunzel right now. Yeah, you take it with food, and it just gives you all the nutrients that you need in order to basically cook a healthy baby. Boobs, yeah, I don't really know what size I am, and I don't think I've gone up a size. All I know is that the extra veiny, I've got like veins all coming down here and across my nipples and all sorts. I have been getting quite a lot of cramps in my armpits, weirdly. Before I found out I was pregnant, I was 10 stone 2. I then went down to 9 stone 8, which is a lot of weight to lose while you're pregnant, considering I wasn't being sick. I didn't have any sickness. My eating habits didn't change. I didn't eat anything less, and I didn't change what I ate. I normally eat quite healthy anyway, so I haven't really changed what I've been eating. So yeah, to lose that much weight in the space of like a month has never happened to me, and I feel great, really. But I have started to put the weight back on again now, so I can just imagine, like, as I'm getting more and more pregnant, I'm just going to get bigger and bigger, which I love. I can't wait to be an elephant. I love it. Some more things I've been experiencing. First and second month of pregnancy, I started getting a lot of spots around my chin and on my cheeks. and I was reading up on, obviously, Google, and they were saying that's a sign that it could be a girl, which I'm happy with regardless, because apparently girls steal your beauty. Also, I've had ulcers in my mouth and my skin. I've got a random, I'm actually going to the doctors today about it, I've got a random bit of what looks like dermatitis on my toe, just one toe, very, very weird. But I have heard that eczema starts to develop and things like that while you're pregnant, because you've got a lot more blood than you normally would have and your hormones are just crazy. So yeah, I'm going to the doctors about that today, so I will probably update you on that. Also, I did try and kind of self-medicate myself for this toe thing, and I went to Boots Pharmacy and I said, can I get some hydrocortisone cream, I think it's called, and because I was pregnant they couldn't just give it to me. So that's why I had to make a doctor's appointment, because apparently there's so many things that you're limited to being able to use while you're pregnant, and I wasn't actually aware of that. Even though it's like my toe, it's down the other end of my body, you still can't use it. So yeah, obviously got to go to the doctors about that. Dreams. Okay, my dreams have been very, very weird. I've started to dream quite a lot about there being water all around me, and apparently that's quite normal because you're building a connection with the baby, who is also surrounded by a lot of water, which is like the amniotic fluid. But yeah, how weird's that? Didn't know that was a thing. And then let's talk about emotions. I'm not psycho. I wouldn't say I'm a psycho. I've gone a bit like loopy or anything. George calls me spiky. Sometimes I'm a little bit like short and snappy with him, but I'm not to the point where I'm like rah rah rah. But one thing that I have noticed that I do is when something cute or something really nice happens, I will cry. Like George was watching like a wrestling match between two girls and they're beating the crap out of each other, and then at the end of it they hugged each other just to say like congratulations, and I started crying. I was like, oh, it's so nice. I started crying. And then the other day my nephew, he's just turned 1, he waved at me and I started crying. Very weird. So yeah, that is everything for this video. I will probably do another video when it gets to like 20 weeks, so that should be the end of July. If you've got any questions, please leave them down below. I'm going to do a Q&A on all these questions, obviously, as and when I can answer them. So I'm obviously in the 1st/2nd trimester at the moment, so I don't really have that much experience of being pregnant just yet, because as I've just said, like I have no symptoms just yet. But yeah, let me just show you my bump and we can just see what is going on. So this is the bump. I just look like I've enjoyed Christmas. Little bubba in there, size of an avocado. One thing that George did notice was I've kind of got like a line going down and my belly button has changed. So I used to have my belly button pierced and that is the scar from it, and normally my belly button looks like that, but now it's all open for everyone to see. So yeah, that is what we're going with at the moment. So I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you have a lovely weekend whatever you're doing, and I'll see you in my next one.